everyone, I'm Natasha, and today I'm going to be discussing my non-spoiler thoughts on the History Channel's new drama TV series called Knightfall. I just got done watching the first 3 episodes of Knightfall. History Channel sent me screeners, and it's very exciting because I get to see a TV show before most people. This is one of History Channel's drama TV series. I remember when Viking first aired, I was like, what? History Channel's doing drama TV show? Everyone loves Vikings. It's one of my family's favorite shows. It's all over Comic-Con. I was very excited to get the email from History Channel to ask if I wanted to review their new drama TV series. Knightfall is set in the early 1300s during the medieval times, so this is about 30 years before the 100-Year War. If you guys ever watched like The White Queen or The White Princess, this is set a bit before that. It's actually centered around the Crusades. Well, after the Crusades. Knightfall follows the Knights Templar, which is the military order of the Roman Catholic religion. Basically, they're like the Pope's army. Each episode is an hour long. It premieres December 6th, which is a Wednesday, and there's 10 episodes in the first season. So you get to watch it all through the holiday season, which, you know, a lot of shows go on break, so this will be like a nice little replacement for our network TV shows that premiere weekly. If you guys are interested in historical television shows, if you're interested in The Secret Society or medieval times or the Holy Grail, the mysterious things that surround that mystical legend of a cup, keep watching for more of my thoughts and give my video a big thumbs up.
I'm going to ask you to do something. You have no idea how important it is. Take this sword to the Templars in Paris. God's kingdom depends on it.
It's been 15 years since we lost Acre. Why are we still in Paris? What are we waiting for? We are Templars, we are warriors. We're supposed to fight for the Holy Land.
The Templars are an army, loyal not to France, but to the Pope.
Why do you always imagine conspiracies and plots?
These are dark times. We need able men to lead us back into the light.
Where's the man that carries this sword?
You said you would know what to do. God has given me a chance to correct the past. The Holy Grail is in France.
Find it.
Our strength is as brothers.
Without it, we are lost.
We are not the only ones trying to find the Grail. Everything is just slipping through my fingers.
You cannot believe in light, but not in dark.
The ones we love the most are the ones most likely to betray us.
You spat on every value we hold dear.
The Grail will destroy us all.
Dear God, must I lose everyone I love for this quest?
So far, what I really like about History's TV shows is the history. I haven't watched very many things set in medieval times, at least like nothing that has to do with the Crusades. This is after the Crusades. It's just fascinating to me because I didn't learn a lot about this time period in school. While on the other hand, my best friend's husband is getting his PhD in medieval history, so I like to pick apart his brain because I think it's fairly interesting, and the only way I actually learn my history is by watching these type of television shows. A lot of this period is super dark, and there's not a lot of hope during this period of time. It's like set right before the bubonic plague, which killed 1/3 of our population back then. There's some interesting literature around this period. There's Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, and Merlin. We have the magical aspect of this in literature. But what we've never really watched before is the Knights of the Templar. Before I sat down and watched the first 3 episodes of Knightfall, the only thing I ever really known about the Knights of the Templar is Indiana Jones. And what brought me to Indiana Jones is that we are on a quest to find the Holy Grail because it's been lost. The show starts in 1291 in the Holy Land, and the Knights Templar lose the land that they call Acre. The Knights Templar, you know, they reigned during the Crusade, but again, they lost the Holy Land to the Muslims and the Islams. But what I didn't know about the Knights Templar is that they were super powerful. They were also extremely wealthy. After their Crusades, they kind of fled to France. The king at that time, King Philip, became deeply indebted to the Knights Templar. But there's a lot of mystery surrounding disbanding them. Like, they don't know why they disbanded because they were reigning for over 200 years. In the beginning, we see this setup between the relationship of the Knights Templar and the King of France. Of course, there's going to be some romantic tie set in the king's court. And what I've already noticed, a lot of push and pull of morality versus what you believe in. There's always going to be corruption in religion because every person is human, and I think that's what I really like about these types of shows. I'm not always fond of when shows, you know, dampen religion or they kind of put a bad ret when it comes to religion and to religious people. However, you see both sides of both religious people in the show, and I like that they're doing that because I always see that stereotype. We follow the main character, Landry, and he's a Knight of the Templar. He gets put on the quest to find the Holy Grail, and there's a lot of different twists and turns. There's some, like, you know, medieval investigating, things put in people's bodies and people dying. It's really, really gruesome, by the way. There was a scene where a knight put a sword through a man's head and it came out his mouth, and I thought, wow, it's like Walking Dead status of gore. I always look out for female characters because Vikings has some amazing female characters in their show, and they're badass. Lagatha, come on, she's one of the best characters on TV right now for women. So far, we have the Queen. We follow Queen Joan. We also have the Princess, and I know this actress from Poldark, which is one of my very favorite historical television shows. She didn't really play that great a character. She left a lasting impression, so I can't wait to see what she does in this show. The one female character that I'm very excited to see develop in the show, she plays a Jewish young woman. There is a lot of conflict between the Christians and the Jewish people in France, and so she's kind of like a stowaway. So far, what I've seen of her, I think she's gonna be pretty badass, and there was a little bit of a romantic tease in there with her, and I'm excited to see where that goes. A lot of the times in historical television shows, women aren't portrayed, you know, they're portrayed like women, the way women were treated back then. Back then, there were some historical women who played badasses, who were very integral in our history, like, say, Joan of Arc. And there are a lot of men in this show, and they're very beautiful. The guy who plays Landry, I've never seen him before, but he's really hot. Jeremy Renner actually produced the show. I thought that was really interesting, you know, hot guy. So yes, I do watch my fair share of historical television shows. I'm going to be doing a roundup of my favorite historical TV shows. But another thing that I look for in historical television is costumes and sets and how I deem them to be, you know, most accurate to the time period. In the case of Reign, which was on the CW, which followed Queen Mary of Scots, even though the fashion was very cool, it was not accurate to that time period, and that pisses me off. I won't watch that show because of the fashion. I'm serious. During the Middle Ages, the fashion back then was interesting. At least, like, the hair, they had some, you know, weird hair things and mullets for men. Lots of drop waists. Still very beautiful. The sets and the CGI are amazing. They did like a huge wide shot of Jerusalem and that looked incredible. But so far what has me intrigued in the show is the quest for the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is something that a lot of people find interesting because of, say, like, you know, Da Vinci's Code. It's said to have like magical powers to make you young or have immortal life. Fictionally, it's very interesting. In reality, it's not true. The Holy Grail is a bit fascinating because it's, you know, a what if. You know, what if it was real? What if, you know, Jesus's cup from his Last Supper survived? But these guys at the Knights Templar are grounded into their religion, and their quest for the Holy Grail is simply selfish. That push and pull of being selfish and also being godly at the same time. Again, very interesting to me because it's just human nature. I'm excited to see where they find the Holy Grail because at the beginning of the show, they show it sink into the bottom of the ocean. I will definitely be continuing to watch Knightfall. If it sounds interesting to you and you liked my non-spoiler review of history's upcoming dramatization of the Knights Templar, I will encourage you guys all to watch Knightfall. Leave the link to the landing page on History Channel so you guys can find out more about the show and, you know, maybe record it on your DVRs once it airs Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. on History Channel. Knightfall I have high hopes for because it could go anywhere. It could follow this main character Landry, it could follow the Queen of France or the Princess. If you guys like historical television TV shows like I do, I'm sure you're gonna love this. I will be doing my top 10. I don't know, have I watched 10? Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I have. I've watched 10 like historical television shows, and I will be doing a roundup of my favorites, and I will be excited to finish this show and hopefully we'll land somewhere in that video. I also wanted to ask, what is your favorite historical time period to watch on TV? Is it the medieval times, maybe surrounding the Tudors, the late 1800s? Let me know. Or like Pride and Prejudice times, the early 1800s. I do enjoy history a lot. I have a grandpa who taught it for years in high school. Again, my best friend's husband, he's gonna be Dr. Medieval soon. That should should be his nickname. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Natasha. I'll see you guys all in my next video. Please give this video a big thumbs up. I'll see you all soon. Keep calm, fangirl on. Bye! Yes, this is a child's toy.